Very grateful that she's around. Okay. All right, cool. So let's jump into this. Let's make this happen. All right, so before we start, I said this, but I wanted to actually share the article with you. So I got this article today, okay? Record surge and pending home sales. So this is what I wanted to show you, okay? NAR, pending home sales index, blah, 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 show the number of contracts soaring by 44.3% in May. It was the greatest single month increase since NAR started tracking pending sales in 2001. So from April of this year to May of this year, nationally, pendings went up 44.3%, the greatest single month increase since NAR started tracking pendings, which was in 2001, 19 years ago. I just think that is fascinating stuff. And it says every major region recorded an increase in month-over-month activity. Okay, so if you haven't seen it yet, business is happening. Okay, more things are going, more things are picking up. So some of you have been pushing this entire time, and you need to keep pushing. Some of you have been kind of a little half and half, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know, do the hokey pokey. You know, that's what it's all about, right? Some of you have been that. You have to jump in the pool, okay? And some of you have been just, nobody knows, okay? You've just been, and I don't know what you're waiting for, but hopefully you'll see that and go, okay, I got to get going. Okay, I have got to get going. Okay, the business is out, and it's not gonna. Let me give you my opinion. This is not a fact, it's opinion. I understand the coronavirus. There's more and more things going on right now. I don't think that's going to slow anything down because I don't think people care. I don't think the fact that there's more cases and things like that not going to matter. Okay, read the news. There's concerts going on. There's still restaurants happening. There's still this, there's still that. It's not going to slow down. This is the time. This is the time to get going. So Wednesday's July 1st, halfway through the year. Now, I will say this. On Wednesday, we've put together a revised 2020 business plan into a 6-month business plan. So it's shorter. It's just a couple pages. We're going to do that on Wednesday. So make sure you're here Wednesday, 12:15. It's not the 1 o'clock class. The 12:15 sales meeting is going to be about putting together the 6-month business plan. But I wanted to really start talking more and more about this as we crank it up so we can just crush the second half of the year. You all have crushed your competition the first half of the year. Just crushed them. And you should be damn proud of that. I know I'm proud of that. And you should be damn proud of that. But we got to keep going. We got to keep going because there's going to be some of those that are going to start to, you know, creep back in. Oh, hey, let's start doing real estate again. Okay, so we got to keep getting better. We can't rest on our laurels. Got to keep getting better. All right, so I put down here a dozen ideas to make the second half better than the first half. No matter how great your first half is, we can always do better, right? Right? So I put down here a dozen ideas on how to do that. Now, some of this stuff is very basic, things that you hear all the time, but we're going to go after it anyways. This is in no particular order of importance. This is strictly just how I wrote them down, okay? So the first thing I wrote down to make the second half even better than the first half is I put, you need to get serious about your skills. You need to get serious about your skills. So I put this down here. Discounters aren't going anywhere. And do you think that there are going to be more desperate agents or less desperate agents as the year goes on? More desperate. There are a number of agents that, think about this. This is the truth. It's about to be July 1st. There are a number of real estate agents that have not had a paycheck yet this year. Do you think they're going to negotiate hard for a 6% commission? No, they're not. They'll take 50 bucks. They'll take 500. I mean, they'll do whatever. Okay. So the discounters aren't going anywhere. They're going to be more prevalent. Okay. The inventory is probably not going to go up all that much. Kelly, is there any particular reason you're sharing your screen? I mean, I'm more than happy to see what, help out any way I can. Okay.
Hey, Robert.
Sorry, I just saw this. I'm like, what's going on?
At least you know how to share your screen, which is great. Yes, Michael.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there any way later you can share that link on the pendings that you had before?
Absolutely.
In the chat one? Thank you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So discounters aren't going anywhere. Inventory is probably not going to go up a lot because we're not building houses, which means you need to get more skilled to get more deals. Simple as that. So I put down a thought here. No reason you can't spend 1 hour per day working on your skills. You kind of get 30 minutes for free between 8:30 and 9. Right? We do the company role play from 8:30 to 9. So you kind of get 30 minutes free there. No reason you can't spend another 30 minutes either working on scripts, objection handlers, personality styles. See, that's the other thing too on your skills. Skills is the scripts are great, but there's other parts of skills. Personality styles is a skill. How you present. Mike talks about all the time becoming a great presenter. It's not just the script, it's how you're doing it. The tone of your voice. Are you presenting with authority? Upswings and downswings. Will you sign the contract, please? Yeah, that's probably not going to get much going on there, right? So there's various ways you can work on your skills, but spend at least an hour a day. Remember Tony Smith? I always go back to this. He said he used to spend 2 hours a day working on his skills. He would do an hour of scripts and objection handlers in the morning and an hour of the listing presentation at night. How many of these guest speakers have we had that work on their skills an hour a day? Hal Swayze, hour a day. Okay, you can figure out an hour a day. Okay, but you got to get that. But I also put this down here. Okay, poor practice, no matter how much you do, will not make you any better. So if you are going to work on your skills, take it seriously. Okay, don't just mumble through the scripts. Treat it as close as you can. And then the last thing I put down here in your skills is record, record, record. Let me be honest with you. You're not as bad as you think you are. I get some of you that don't want to record your listing presentation because you're afraid of how it's going to look. Okay, you're not sending it in to Steven Spielberg for a big part in a movie. Okay, you're sending it in so Neil and I can give you some fair feedback. Okay, don't worry about how you look physically. Okay, or well, I don't know, I stuttered. Yeah, that's why we do this to get better. Okay, no one's perfect. This is how you get better. Okay, you want to see something fun? Go watch my first YouTube videos. Okay, me bouncing around, my hands are going like this. It's crazy. Who cares? We get better. Record, record, record. Okay, you got to work on your skills. Okay, the second thing I wrote down here, get a grip on your database. Get a grip on your database. Okay, first of all, in 2020, there's no reason to not have your database in a CRM. Okay, now the next question, I don't care which one. Okay, well, should I do Business Builder or Lion's Desk or Top Producer or Contactually? I don't care. Pick one. And if you don't know which one to pick, go with Business Builder just because it's free. But pick one and go with it. I don't get paid if you use Business Builder, so I don't care. Just pick one and go with it. Get them in a CRM. Okay. If you don't get your leads in a CRM and set up follow-up reminders, you will lose track and lose money. We're just too busy. The reality is you're too busy to handwrite things on little Post-it notes and remember all of them. Just a reality. All of us included. And that's not a bad thing. It's good to be busy. Okay, but you got to have some systems for that. But I wrote down here next, who are your money makers? In your database, can you identify your money makers? And here's what I mean. There's only a small percentage of people that will actually refer you business, right? I mean, if you have 200 people in your database, not all 200 are referring you anything. It's 10, 15, maybe 20 people are actually referring you business. Can you identify your money makers? And those money makers need to get more attention. They need to get the VIP treatment. They need to get touched monthly, phone calls, Zoom meetings, you know, when you're able to see people again regularly, see them face-to-face pop-bys. You need to get more interaction with your money makers. They need to know how much you appreciate them, but also the more time you spend with them, the more referrals you'll get from them. If someone's willing to refer you business, they like you, they're willing to give you something, why wait 2 months to try to get another one? Be in touch with them monthly. Get a deal a month. Okay, identify your money makers. Don't just treat them the same way. Don't just send them the same reports, the same blast email. You got to get them the VIP treatment. Okay, providing more value to them, market updates, neighborhood updates. Okay, if you know things about them, use things about them. Use the kids, right? How are the kids doing? Hey, I heard you went here, right? Build that relationship. Build that relationship. Number one was get serious about your skills. Okay, but build that relationship with them if you know things about them. I knew a guy, now I'm not telling you to do this, okay, but I'll just give you an example, that he would always ask, if he knew his clients had kids, he would ask them how the kids were doing in school. And if the kid made the honor roll, he would send the kid a congratulations card. He would mail it directly to the kid. Say, congratulations on making honor roll. And the parents just thought it was the greatest thing on earth, that he included the kids, that he cared about the kids, right? Now, watch out for gifts, because that could come back and bite you sometimes. We just sent a congratulations card for making the honor roll. Little things like that, right? You know, little things like that. Get them involved. You got to give your VIP treatment to your database. But use InfoSparks. Give them an update of what's going on. They need to know what's happening out there. All right? Be the resource. Be the real estate resource. Because here's the thing. Here's the last thing I put down on your database. They know another real estate agent, right? The question is, what misinformation is that real estate agent giving them that you need to correct? That real estate agent's telling them it's a hot market, or this or that or that, and they think that if you're not in touch with them, giving them real information, then they're stuck to believe that real estate agent, and there's a chance that real estate agent's not going to be correct. Well, it's a hot market. Well, what if they live in Covina when the average sales price is down 10% compared to this time last year? They think it's a hot market. That's incorrect, according to InfoSparks. What if they live in Arcadia and they say, well, I don't know if now is a good time to sell because, the Chinese money's not coming in. And actually the average sales price is up 18%. They know other agents that are providing wrong information because they're not studying the market. You have to be the actual real resource. Okay, hope that makes sense. Okay, number 3, protect your mindset. Protect your mindset. If you want to have a great second half, protect your mindset, because let me tell you something. What is coming up at the end of this year?
Taxes.
Taxes. What else is coming up?
Election.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Now, and yes, Christmas is also coming, Lynn. It's a great point. Christmas is coming. The election. Now, I'm not a political guy by any stretch of the imagination, because I don't care. I'm worried about my own individual economy, and as long as that's going up, I'm fine. Do you think that the election is going to provide a lot of positivity?
No.
No. Oh no. Oh no. It is going to be slander of this angle and slander of this angle, and people rushing to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook to give their opinion, even though they don't know a damn thing about politics. And they're and it's going to be all hate, just hate for months. You have got to protect your mindset against that. The virus is still here. It's not going anywhere, okay? You got the, I'm not wearing a mask, I'm an American, and I'm not wearing a mask because I live in Orange County. Same thing. Anyways, but it's a whole different thing, right? You got elections, you got this. You've got to protect this because there is going to be so much negativity coming in around outside. It's going to be nuts. And if you get caught in that bubble, it's like, some of you probably don't know this, but if you've ever been to a rock concert, they have these things called mosh pits, okay? You don't want to get caught in the mosh pit, okay? Because it's a bunch of craziness and people running and, hitting each other and things like that. You don't want to get caught in that. That's this. You don't want to get caught in the mosh pit of negativity, the election stuff and all these other different, you don't want to get caught in that, okay? Because it's hard to get out. It's hard to get out alive without getting bruised and beaten. All right, so you've got to protect your mindset, okay? On top of that, your peers, not the peers of who's on this call right now, not the 40 of you that are here, your outside peers are going to be doing less business. So you got to protect against that because they're going to be complaining about the inventory and things along those lines, okay? So you have got to protect your mindset. I put down here, mindset has to be a daily activity. And sometimes maybe even multiple times a day. If you're influential or you're easily influenced, that. That's not a bad thing. That's not meant to be a negative. Everyone's different. For me, there's just walls, okay? It's just stuff just bounces off, okay? I don't care, okay? Now that mainly comes from I don't care about a lot of things just in general. So it's hard to get me negative because I don't care. Okay. Some of you are easily influenced, which means you might have to check your mindset multiple times a day. That's not a bad thing. This is not meant to be a negative, but you just have to make sure you're checking that all the time. Okay. So I put down here, reading, watching videos, masterminding, do what you can to protect your mindset because it's going to be a lot more negativity as this year goes on. Okay. Okay. Number 4, become a better presenter. Make a commitment to become a better presenter. Now, part of that is the listing presentation, right? We talk about that. So how often are you practicing the listing presentation? I think it's great that you write it out or you chant it out, but how often are you actually practicing a listing presentation? What about your buyer presentations? We've talked all the time about buyer presentations, asking for a buyer broker referral, things like that. Are you practicing that? What about showing property virtually and in person? Because showing property is a presentation, right? Do you practice that? Presenting offers, asking for a price reduction. These are all presentations. Become a better presenter on all of them. If you don't practice asking for a price reduction, that conversation is not going to go very well. Okay, just is what it is. Is every offer, if you're the listing agent and you get an offer from buyers, are they always just fantastic? Where you just can't wait to rush to the seller and say, look what I got. No, sometimes you're like, I really don't want to call my seller right now. This is the best offer I got. I don't want to call them. You have to be able to give that presentation because if you call, hey, Mr. Seller, so, we got an offer. It's, not quite what we were hoping. It's not good. Okay, there's more than the presenting than just the listing presentation. So get good at the listing presentation, but get good at all the presentations. Be just a great presenter in general, no matter what the situation is. So commit to being a great presenter.
Oh.
Okay, next thing I wrote down here, number 5, stop fighting technology. Stop fighting technology. So Bob Nelson just went over your Zap, which is a free website and a free personal app. It's not that hard to set it up or do it. That stuff's free. Okay. He went over Golden Ruler. That stuff's free. We've done classes on Golden Ruler and all the ways you can use it. Okay. Social media, for example, online presence. Some of this stuff, it seems more overwhelming than it actually is. I'm not a very technical guy, and yet I figured this out enough to teach it. And I'm not technical savvy whatsoever. I mean, there are things that come up and I have to call Jesse and he'll be like, oh, you just press this. I'm like, oh, idiot. You can't fight it. Use it. You have a free website. If you don't want to use that one, get a website. Okay. You have a free app. It's not that big of a deal. Use some of the basic social media things. You don't have to be on everything. Okay. I think that's some of the stuff is that, oh, it seems like so much. No, it's pretty simple. But do virtual open houses, doing virtual meetings. Okay. Get with this technology stuff. It makes your life easier. You don't have to use Mike Ferry's thing on technology is that agents that use technology to grow their business. That's not necessarily what we're telling you to do to replace prospecting, but there's things you can do. You can connect with people on social media. We've done classes on that. It's good to have some sort of online presence. So if you Google people, they Google you. If they Google you, now imagine this. Hear me out. It's coronavirus. Most people not necessarily super excited about having strangers at their house right now. So now imagine they Google you and can't find you. I can't find you. I have a stranger coming to my house to talk about listing my property. I'm in the middle of a pandemic. I know nothing about him. In 2020. Can't find them anywhere. I'll bet your closing ratio increases in a time like this. Basic stuff. You don't have to go super crazy, okay? But you have to stop fighting the technology, okay? Okay. And I put this down here. Being present online doesn't mean spending hours per day online. I've mentioned Tony Giordano before. This guy wrote a book. Literally, you know the phrase, he wrote the book on this? No, he literally wrote a book called The Social Agent. Okay, he's now got The Social Agent 2.0. Sharp guy. Went to a seminar he did a couple of years back. And I went into this seminar with this mindset, oh God, this guy's going to, and I hadn't read the book. This guy's going to tell us to be on Facebook for like 3-4 hours a day and this and that. He started the seminar by saying this. If you're spending more than 15 minutes a day on Facebook for business purposes, you're wasting your time. Now, you can be on there longer to do social, personal stuff, but if it's for business, you should only be on there 15 minutes a day. You just have to know how to do it. Okay, so you don't have to completely change your business plan. All right, number 6 I put down here. Be a professional. And here's what I mean by be a professional for the second half of 2020 is just because we're doing so many things virtually doesn't mean you get to lower your standards of being a professional. Doesn't mean you don't have to dress the part. Doesn't mean you don't have to act the part. Well, I'm doing a virtual presentation. I don't care, dress up. Pants included. Still haven't quite figured out why people will suit up, literally do all of this and then just put on basketball shorts. Like putting on the slacks was so much. That was just like the last straw. Like suit up, act the part, dress the part, be a pro. I don't care if it's virtual. Okay, you got to do it. Ron Cronin says, dress like you regularly cash large commission checks. Dress like you regularly cash large commission checks. Even virtually. You got to do it, right? Doesn't matter if you're in the office, if you're outside. You know, as the winter comes around, it's colder outside. Doesn't matter. Monday, Friday, doesn't matter. You're going to be a pro all the time. Be a pro all the time. Okay? You have to always assume that you're going to prospect and somebody's going to say, yeah, can you meet right now? I mean, you don't have to come over. We can do this virtually. How about we just meet right now? And if you're not dressed, ready to go, what are you going to tell them? No. Give me a half hour. I gotta get dressed. That's probably not going to go very well. See, the thing with virtual is people can do that. Why can't we do this now? I'm here. You want to sell my house? Yeah, I'm ready to go right now. Let's do this. I'll hop on Zoom right now. They can do that. Okay, so you gotta dress the part, act the part. And I also put down on a professional, do what you say you're going to do. Do what you say you're going to do. You say you're going to do something, do it. I put down here, saying I don't know or I'll get back to you on that is better than saying you can do it and then not being able to deliver. Nobody expects you to know everything. I tell you that all the time. How many times have I said, I don't know if this is going to work, but I have an idea? I tell you those things all the time. Michael just asked me a really great question. I said, I don't know. I'll have to look into it. I don't know all the answers, but it's so much better than saying, yeah, you could do that. And then me going, God, I hope he can do it. Because then if not, he's going to come back to me and I'm not going to have it done. Okay? Don't just say it. Don't just say it. Okay, good questions. All right. Number 7, become a better business person, not just a real estate agent. Become a better business person, not just a real estate agent. Meaning have business conversations. Okay? You want to sell, you want to buy, yeah. Well, let's look at the financial impact of buying or selling right now. Let's get together to see if it makes financial sense. Let's look at the bottom line. Let's look at the net after closing. Don't use vague statements. Be specific. This is business terminology. Just have a business conversations. You're talking with an investor. It's a money thing. Well, let's see what we can sell your home for. Let's get together to see if it makes financial sense. Let's look at the financial impact of keeping your home versus selling it. Someone's an investor, they're money guys. They're money gals. Use business terminology. Have a business conversation with them. Okay, you're working with a buyer who wants to save more money for a down payment. Walk them through a financial plan for them to do that. Don't just say, okay, great. Walk them through a plan. Well, how much money do you need? Well, I need $10,000. Okay, great. How much time do you want to do it? Oh, I want to do it in a year. Great. You need about $1,000 a month. Let's set up a plan to where you're saving $1,000 a month. First thing I want you to do is I want you to go to the bank and open up a savings account. We're going to call it Home Fund. Okay, great. I'm going to call you the first of every month. I'm going to ask you if you've put $1,000 in the Home Fund, and then I'm also going to ask you for a referral. Sound good? Great. Business conversations. You're creating a business. Okay, you need to do these things. Have business conversations. Become a better business person, not just a real estate agent. I put down here, run a profit and loss statement. Look at the net, not the gross. But run a profit and loss statement. During this time, some of these things, you've cut some things out. Before you bring them back, run a profit and loss statement. Well, I haven't been doing mailers. I've cut mailers out. Okay, great. Has that impacted your business? No. Maybe you don't bring them back at all. It's costing you X amount of money. Okay, run a profit and loss statement. Check to see what's really making money, what's not making money. Okay, do those things. Okay, number 8, take your goals seriously. Take your goals seriously. The best thing I can put on this, because this is something that I've had to deal with quite a lot recently, is people and their goals. Because I get the question all the time of, I don't know, Robert, getting back to work, this whole virtual thing, blah, 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 all this stuff. Let me make this very clear. If you don't have a strong grip on your goals and what you want to accomplish, you will never do any of these activities. Period. Just won't. Why would you prospect and get told no 30 times a day if you don't know what the hell you're doing it for? For God's sakes, do something else. Southern California. You know what I mean? Going out and learning scripts. Learning scripts is not fun. It's not exciting. It's not cool. Why go learn all these scripts if you don't know what you're doing it for? You have got to take your goals seriously. You need to identify your goals and you need to take them seriously. Otherwise, you're not going to do it. Just plain and simple. I have this conversation at least once a week. I'm just having a hard time being consistent. All right, what do you want to accomplish? I haven't figured it out yet. Then you're never going to do it. Okay, so I put down here, write down daily goals, weekly goals, yearly goals, decade goals. Where do you want to be in 10 years? If you don't know where you want to be in 10 years, you're not going to know what to be doing the first year. And if you don't know what to do the first year, you're not going to know what to do the first day, the first week. Okay? I put down here, read them daily. Sometimes multiple times a day. And I also put down, they have to be realistic but tough to accomplish. So if the first half of the year you closed 10 deals and you're like, well, what's my goal for the second half? It should be more than 11. Okay. If you closed 5 or you took 5 listings, well, what's my goal? What's my listing taking goal for the second half? 5. No, you could do better. Okay. Make it 8, make it 9. I'm not telling you to put 20, not to say it's not possible, but be realistic, but stretch it out a little bit. Take your goal seriously. You will not do it. Okay. If you don't know what you're doing it for, it's not an exciting enough job. Okay. All right. Last few here. Number 9, understand your strengths and weaknesses. The second half of the year, understand your strengths and weaknesses. Okay. So identify and be honest what your strengths and weaknesses are. You're not strong at everything and you're not weak at everything. Be honest. Case in point. I am very good at doing a variety of different training classes to a variety of different people. I am not very good at patience. And what I mean by patience is that I have to work on, and you probably saw me a little bit earlier with this, when I said in the chat box, we did a new script this morning. And a couple people had said, hey, can you send me the new script? And I replied, I'll send it to you if you promise me you're going to use it. Because what I have found, now that's not good. Wasn't a good answer, but I'm just telling you, my weakness is that because there are some people that I've sent the scripts to like 6 or 7 times, which means you haven't opened it once. And then I have to send the email again and send it again. So I'm like, I'm not going to send it. Just tell me you're going to use it. Or be honest with me and say, I'm not going to use it. Great. Save us both some time. Okay. We all know our strengths and weaknesses. Identify your strengths, identify your weakness. Okay. Otherwise, you're just doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. And that's just insanity. But remember what Neil did with the gal, Marcy, last week when he identified her strengths and weaknesses? She was spending 70% of her time prospecting 30% of her business. That's what I'm talking about. And she was spending 30% of her time on 70% of her business. So identify what you're good at and do more. So I put down here, do what you're good at more, do what you're bad at less. I know that's heavy. That was that's a lot of thought right there. But you have to identify what you're good at and what you're not good at. Some of your weaknesses, this is just the reality. Some of your weaknesses have been your weaknesses for years. So try to avoid being put in that spot. Well, Robert, my weakness is I just can't get past the for sale by owners. I just have a hard time with those. Okay, then just stop prospecting them. At some point, it's just a weakness you're not going to overcome, and that's okay. There's a bunch of other ways to do business. But if your weakness is the commission objection, you have to get better at that. If your strength is database, do more database. If your strength is for sale by owners, do more for sale by owners. Whatever the case may be. Well, my strength is I seem to get a lot of deals from this area, but I don't really like that area. I don't care. Do more in that area. You know, identify your strengths and weaknesses. Now, I'm going to ask you something. This is something Mike Ferry asked me a couple years ago. Okay. It's 4 questions he asked me. 4 questions he asked. So, number 1, what is your weakness? What is your weakness? Number 2, how long has it been your weakness? Number 3, why haven't you done anything about it? And number 4, what are you going to do about it this year? Now, in your case, I want you to say, what am I going to do about it the next 6 months? Because again, some of our weaknesses, myself included, have been the same weaknesses for years. From a recruiting standpoint, my biggest strength is I'm a hunter. I hunt. Give me a name, give me a number, I'm on it. Boom, 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 on it. Which means my weakness is then going back and following up on the people that said, give me a call in a couple weeks. Because I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt. But it's a problem. So you have to identify your weakness. Okay, but he asked me that. Okay, last three. Number 10, have more energy and excitement. Now, I can't say this enough. I don't want you to be me. That's a lot of energy and excitement. But you need to have energy and excitement because you need to be the light of hope for people. You've got to be the light of hope. We talked about earlier, there's so much negativity surrounding everything. So much negativity. Just in the world in general. Then in real estate, they think it's even more negative. You've got to be the hope. You've got to be the excited one, the energetic one that's providing something for them that's going to get them excited, that makes them go, what are they on? Why are they so happy? What are they so excited about? I want to be excited. I've been stuck in my house for months. Every time I go online, there's political this and virus that and protest this. It's chaos. Why are they so excited? Got to be the light of hope. It's attractive. Energy and excitement's attractive. People need something exciting. They need something exciting going on. Be the one that provides the energy and the excitement. That will get you more business. They will want to work with you. They will want to work with you. Okay, so have more energy and excitement. Again, you don't have to be expressive. You don't have to be me. Be your natural self, but just be excited about it. Be excited about the potential of helping somebody. You know, if you're an amiable type of person, you get the excitement of bringing someone up. If you're not amiable, you get the excitement of getting money from them. I don't care how you look at it. Be the light of hope. Be the light of hope. Okay. Mike Ferry's questions was, what is your weakness? How long has it been your weakness? Why haven't you done anything about it? What are you going to do about it this year? Okay, last two. Make these very quick. Number 11, get a grip on your schedule. I put this down here. If you don't have a schedule or don't follow it, you will never reach your goals. Ever. And there's no right or wrong schedule. Just create one and follow it. How do you follow a schedule? I'm going to make this very, very hard. Write it down and then do what you wrote down. That's it. That's the key to the schedule. Write it down and do what you wrote down. Done. And then tomorrow, do it again. Don't make this hard. But you know the routine at this point. You know what time you're going to get up and get on Zoom if you're working from home. You know what the traffic's like getting to the office. You know the whole thing. You got this down at this point. Okay? Figure out the schedule and do it. Got to have a schedule. And I put down here, your schedule needs to be on multiple platforms. It's got to be on your computer, your phone, written down. You got to have your schedule availability. You have to have your schedule. You have to have your schedule available at all times. Because what if you're in the car? Do you ever get phone calls in the car? Yes, I'm ready to list my house. Can you come over tomorrow? And you go, I don't know. I'll get back to you. Don't get back to them. Just take it as a loss and move on. You got it. You need to be able to go, yeah, no problem. How about I have tomorrow at 2:30 or 4? What works better? Gotta have your schedule figured out. Gotta have your schedule figured out. All right, and the last one here, take action. Take action. You want to have an even better second half than first half, you have to take action. You can even, if you want to, put in take massive action. It's probably going to take more contacts to get a deal than in normal times. So make more contacts. You're probably going to have to overcome more objections to get a deal than in normal time. So know the objections. I put it down here. Just do it. Like Nike. Just do it. Stop thinking. Stop planning. Just go out there and do something. Anything. I put down here, life is trial and error. We don't always know if it will work, but you have to go out and try. We have coaching calls like this sometimes. You'll ask me a question and go, Robert, I have an idea. And every single time I go, do it. Well, do you think it'll work? I have no idea. One way to find out is go do it. But I do know if you don't do it, we'll never find out. I'm thinking about calling these people. Great. I'm thinking about saying this. Okay. I don't know. Should I target this area? Sure. I don't know. Just go do it. Find out. Be the leader. Be the one. And if it doesn't work, then we'll just go do something else. But you got to take action. You got to go get it. You will not slip and fall on a deal the second half of the year. That will not happen. You're going to have to go get it. You're going to have to go get it. All right. So that's what I got. So those are 12 thoughts, 12 ideas on how to make the second half even better than the first half, which the first half was pretty amazing because you all freaking rocked it. So we're going to keep pushing. I know it's annoying because, you know, you've done so well and we keep pushing you, and I'm